Greetings, history enthusiasts, and welcome back to our alternate reality segment. The name Napoleon Bonaparte is synonymous with military genius and boundless ambition. His first French empire stretched across much of Europe, but ultimately his overreach, the disastrous Russian campaign, the protracted Peninsular War, and finally, the defeat at Waterloo, led to his downfall. But what if history had taken a different turn? What if Napoleon had never fallen? Our point of divergence is June 1815, the Battle of Waterloo. We imagine a crucial intervention, a decisive error by the coalition forces, perhaps a delay in the Prussian arrival, allowing Napoleon's forces to rout Wellington's army. The emperor is victorious, the Seventh Coalition shatters. The Bourbon monarchy's brief restoration is over. Napoleon is back, stronger and more feared than ever. But winning one battle is not winning the war. How does this single victory reshape the continent and eventually, the world? With Wellington defeated, the path to Paris is secured. The remaining coalition members, Austria, Russia, and the now humiliated Prussia, are forced to the negotiation table. Napoleon, learning from past mistakes, acts with strategic prudence. The Treaty of Paris, alternate 1815. Prussia is broken. Stripped of its western territories, it's reduced to a minor power, ensuring a weak German landscape. Austria is sidelined. While retaining its core lands, its influence in Italy and Germany is permanently ceded to French client states. Russia. Tsar Alexander I, facing internal dissent and a demoralized army, reluctantly reaffirms the Treaty of Tilsit, agreeing to a tighter continental system. Britain stands alone. The arch-nemesis, still protected by the English Channel and the Royal Navy, is politically isolated, seeing its continental allies collapse. Napoleon knows a direct invasion is too risky. Instead of invasion, Napoleon intensifies the Continental System, turning his European empire into a colossal economic bloc aimed squarely at crippling British trade. Client states become true extensions of the empire, a unified kingdom of Italy under a Bonapartist viceroy, a significantly enlarged Duchy of Warsaw, a restored Poland, and a stable French-allied Confederation of the Rhine. This Pax Gallica, or French peace, is brutal but orderly. Napoleon, now secure, focuses on internal reforms, enforcing the Napoleonic Code across his empire, modernizing infrastructure, and establishing a uniform educational system, effectively stamping out the old feudal structures forever. Sir, with Europe stabilized under the imperial boot, Napoleon's gaze shifts overseas. He understands that to truly conquer the world, he must neutralize the British Navy. A massive, decade-long naval rearmament project is launched. French industrial power, fueled by the resources of a subjugated continent, is channeled into shipbuilding. New ports are established, and a generation of naval officers is trained with innovative tactics. This isn't just a French Navy, it's the Imperial European Fleet. The New World and the Ottoman Opportunity. The Americas. Spain's colonies, already restive, find new momentum. Napoleon supports independence movements not out of altruism, but to dismantle Spain's remaining global influence and deny Britain potential allies or trade partners. A French-influenced Latin America begins to emerge. The East. Seeing the Ottoman Empire as a weak link, Napoleon applies diplomatic pressure and subtle military threats. Rather than a full invasion, he secures an alliance, gaining access to key ports in the Mediterranean and a route to Persia and India. This is a crucial move to flank the British Empire in Asia. By the late 1820s, a naval showdown becomes inevitable. The Battle of the Atlantic, alternate 1828, is a series of decisive encounters. While the Royal Navy remains formidable, the sheer number and coordinated attacks of the Imperial European Fleet break the British naval dominance. The Channel remains French. Great Britain, isolated and economically strangled, is finally forced to sue for a humiliating peace. The year is 1840. Napoleon Bonaparte, still on the throne in Paris, is the undisputed master of Europe and the architect of a new global order, the universal monarchy. The legacy of the emperor, political structure. The world is dominated by the French Empire and its Bonapartist client states. Old monarchies are largely dissolved or subservient. The concept of nationalism, ironically spread by French ideas, is now the primary threat to the empire, manifesting in pockets of resistance across the continent. Technological advancement. The focus on military technology and massive engineering projects like early canals and railways, driven by imperial decree, has accelerated industrial development, but it is a centralized, state-controlled industrial revolution. Culture and law. The Code Napoleon is the foundation of civil law from Lisbon to Warsaw, a legacy of secular rational law. French becomes the universal language of diplomacy, culture, and science. The metric system is used globally. The British fate. Britain, though not invaded, is forced to relinquish key colonies and cede naval supremacy. It becomes a secondary power, focused inwardly, perhaps a hotbed for secret democratic or republican movements planning a future uprising. The unforeseen challenge: Napoleon is mortal. His ultimate test is the succession. Can his chosen heir, perhaps his son Napoleon II, hold together this vast, culturally diverse, and inherently unstable empire? The forces of suppressed nationalism and liberal thought are a ticking time bomb, waiting for the emperor's eventual death to erupt into a new, global wave of revolution. Napoleon may have conquered the world, but he did not conquer the hearts of all its people. His empire is a colossal achievement of human will, order, and ambition, but it is also a giant built on a foundation of suppressed liberty. The question is not what if he conquered, but what if the empire falls now? Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of the Emperor Triumphant. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. Would you rather live under the ordered tyranny of the Pax Napoleonica or the chaotic freedom of our own history? Until next time, keep exploring the what-ifs of history.